up in a comfortable seated position, and I thought for tonight's practice, we would just recap everything that we've done as far as the awareness series has gone for the month, for this past month. So working with the feet, the hips, the shoulders, the chin, the jaw, and the hands and the wrist. And the flow will be very similar to what we've been doing, but you may hear very odd cues every now and then as subtle reminders. So let's just begin in a comfortable bound ankle pose or butterfly pose. So the bottoms of the feet will come together and suss around, and let the sit bones really root down onto the mat. And let's just bring the palms together, rubbing the palms, creating this connection between the feet and the hands. And then bring the hands to heart center. And let's just take a nice full inhale in through the nose. HA, sigh it out. Full inhale. Sigh out the exhale. And this next inhale, let's make it nice and full. Sipping in just a little more oxygen. And then really sighing out the exhale, dropping the shoulders, releasing the jaw. Great. Place your palms now on your feet, whether you want to place thumbs in the solar plexus or the bottoms of the feet, in the middle of the feet, or you just feel like just having a nice firm grip. And from here, as you take a hold of your feet, just allow that to gently pull yourself forward so that your shoulders are sliding down and away from the ears. Feel the left and the right foot connect. Feel your palms connect onto your feet. And then slowly bring the ears and the chin back just gently so you're not so forward flexed. And you should feel like you have a nice straight spine and that you're rooting down through the ground. And let's just take a few cycles of breath here to bring our attention, our body to this practice. And then take one more cycle of breath here. If you want to release the jaw as you exhale, you may. And then keeping your strong spine, you'll fold forward, but really try to lean forward with the sternum and try not to jut the chin and the nose forward. So you're adding a little bit of a fold. And go gently. If you see yourself starting to really reach with the nose and the chin, back off and restart. And then find a sweet spot for you. Slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. See if you can release any tension in the hips. Reach the crown of the head forward. And then as you're looking down, just move the jaw a little bit from side to side. Getting some movement going. And just noticing if you're holding any tension here. Great, one more breath. Okay, come out the way you came in. Really root down through the sit bones. And imagine that the crown of the head will draw a line up towards the ceiling. That way you're not pushing back and arching the back, and that you're just pulling yourself up, keeping the shoulders sliding down and away from the ears. Take a nice full inhale. Great, and as you exhale, slide your legs forward, coming into a forward staff pose. And adjust any love that you have behind you so you can be rooted and grounded. Heels are planted, toes are up. And let's just do a couple of dorsiflexion and plantar flexion with the toes. So point the toes forward in plantar flexion, pull the toes back. And then you can always set the hands by the hips. Try not to dump into the wrist, and then have the shoulders come up nice and tall. Great. All right, and then let's bring the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. A little gentle hip opener here. If you want, you can take your left foot out like a check mark. It's your preference. It can come directly out to the hips, but wherever you're at, make sure you have that rooting and that grounding in the sit bones. Reach the arms up high to the sky. Slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. Palms are facing each other. Use your nose, draw a line up towards the ceiling, looking up, full inhale, and then guiding with the fingertips, slowly start folding forward. Don't guide with the nose or the chin. See if you can keep the shoulders sliding down and away from the ears so you're not rounding the back in. And then find a spot that's going to work for you. Hands can be on either side of the leg, or maybe you're taking a hold of the foot. And then once you get to a nice spot where your spine is nice and strong and you're not hunching or rounding in, let's take a few cycles of breath here, letting the exhale guide us a little deeper. Two more breaths. Maybe as you exhale, you really sigh it out, unhinging or releasing the jaw. Great. You'll take your last cycle of breath here, and just as you came in, you'll come out, drawing the crown of the head up towards the sky. Fingertips come up with you, keeping the shoulders releasing down, away from the ears, and then set both hands to the side. Great. All right, send your right leg long. Maybe if you want, you can suss it out. And then bring the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Take the same variation as you did on the left side with the right leg. So if you took the right leg out a little bit like a check mark, do the same. Root down, we'll do the same thing here. So you're leading forward in this nice straight alignment. So reaching the palms up towards the sky, fingertips reach up. If you want, draw a line with your nose, look up, give yourself a little bit of a hyperextension, and then nose comes back to neutral. And then use the fingertips to guide you forward. Crown of the head reaches forward. And then once you get to a spot that feels good for you, set your palms down on either side of the leg or grab a hold of the foot. But wherever you're at, really try not to round the shoulders too much in. Really guiding the crown of the head towards the foot with each exhale. Root down through your sit bones. Try to see if you can keep some equanimity between left and right. One more cycle of breath here, yogis. All right, let's lead with the fingertips up towards the ceiling on the inhale. And then palms come down to the side as you exhale. Great. All right, send both legs long. This time, instead of having them directly come out to the hips, take them just a little bit wide. All right, so we're kind of changing our base and our foundation a little bit. So reset, bring the toes, try to keep the toes in line or the second toe in line with the knee. Reach the arms up high to the sky, full inhale. All right, slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. Lead with the fingertips, folding forward. If you want, you can fold down the middle, set palms down on the ground, or take a hold of each foot. All right, fold forward. All right, in these last cycles of breath, see if you can give yourself a nice body scan. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere. And see if you can just soften into that. One more full inhale. And as you exhale, fold deeper. And then use the inhale to guide yourself up. Arms come up high to the sky, nice straight spine, and then bring your hands down to the side. Awesome. All right, let's come on to hands and knees. So knees are going to come underneath the hips. And if you want, you can always pad the tops of the feet onto the mat just to awaken them. And then place your hands underneath your shoulders. And if you want, you can remember your pickle jars. So with your hands rooted onto the mat, imagine that you're just slightly turning your right hand clockwise and your left hand counterclockwise and press down. All right, tuck under your toes, drop your belly, look on up, really root down through your toes and push out through the heels in your cow pose. Let's stay here for a full cycle of breath. And then as your exhale happens next, tuck chin into the chest, belly button comes into spine, and then place the tops of the feet onto the mat. And I want you to feel hands and tops of the feet root in as you push your belly button up. All right, as you flow, I want you to create a full body assessment and experience. So when you inhale, come into your cow pose. Feel your hands and your toes connect and everything in between. And then as you exhale, slowly transition into your cat. And we'll do a couple of cycles of breath here. And as you're flowing back and forth, just notice if your hips kind of sway a little bit to left and right. And see if you can keep your hip bones pointing down to the ground. Just for a few cycles. And then as you're ready, maybe you go from right shoulder to right hip, going from side to side. This, you'll feel the hips move. And then as you're moving from side to side too, be mindful that one shoulder isn't hiking up closer to the ear more than the other. So as you're moving, just kind of give yourself these little checks here and there. There is so much going on with each yoga pose. And then take a few more cycles of breath, cat and cows. And then when you're ready, bring your big toes together. Knees come wide in child's pose. Then we'll be here for 5 cycles of breath. So if you need to do a few more cat cows, be welcome to it. And even if I never cue child's pose again, you're always welcome to come into this pose no matter what. So the tops of our feet are touching the mat, our knees are touching the mat, our bum is reaching back towards our heels, the palms are touching and connecting with the mat. If you want, you can slowly reach the fingertips forward, sliding the shoulders down and away from the ears, and then have your forehead connect with the mat. 2 more full breaths here. And then with your next inhale, slowly start coming forward back into your tabletop pose. And then tuck under your toes and lift your knees and then walk yourself back into a plank pose, pushing out through the heels. Palms are underneath the shoulders. If this is ever too much, you can always drop the knees, but have the toes planted, push out through the heels. Shoulders are drawing back away from the ears. Relax the jaw. All right, let's take 2 more breaths just like this. Really focus on planting the fingertips and the heels of the hand into the mat. 1 more full inhale. And then as your exhale happens, take the hips up high to the sky for your first downward dog. All right. So some of us, our heels are going to touch the mat, and others of us, our heels are reaching for the mat. And bend the knees, gentle as can be, to release any tension on the hamstrings. Palms are planted. Once again, if you want, you can imagine that you're opening up some jars. Slide the shoulders down and away from the ears, and then you've got 2 more breaths here. Maybe move the jaw around a little bit. 1 more full cycle of breath. Full inhale. Let your exhale guide your feet to the back of your hands, finding your fold. Great. All right, find a halfway lift here. Fold forward. And then rooting down with your feet, reach your arms up high to the sky, full inhale. And then palms will come down to the side. Great. Okay, so palms are facing forward. Let's just rock back on the heels, spread and lift the toes, and then set each toe down one at a time. And then if you want, you can rock forward on the balls of the feet, lift the heels and set them back down. Soften the knees. All right, and then imagine as you inhale a line of energy coming up through the feet, up through the legs. Soften the hips. So see, sometimes we like to hold one hip higher than the other, so you can just draw the hips down. Shoulder blades come down, palms come forward. And then if you feel like you need to, bring the ears in line with the shoulders. Crown of the head reaches up towards the sky. Great, full inhale here. All right, reach the arms up high to the sky. Fold forward. Find your halfway lift. Fold forward. And then I want you to reach your arms up high to the sky again. And then arms come down to the side, palms come forward. See if you can come back and not have to do too much adjusting. Great. All right, reach your arms up high to the sky. You've got this. Fold forward as you exhale. Find a halfway lift here. Planting your hands, step your right foot back, coming into a high runner's lunge. Okay. So first off, hands are framing the left foot. I want you to come onto the outside of the left foot, the ball of the left foot, the inner arch, and then the heel. And then walk your right toes back to wherever is comfortable, a good distance, where you can feel just a gentle stretch going in the right quad. Push out through the right heel, and then look forward here. Slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. And then imagine your hip bones pointing towards your mat, towards the ground. Awesome. Take a nice full inhale. And then as you exhale, suction your right heel down, turn your right toes out. Push out through the lateral edge of the right leg. And then when you're ready, reach your arms up high to the sky for your first warrior one. All right, so make a nice gentle adjustment here. Knee is going over the left ankle. Line up your knee with your second toe. Your hips aren't going to be exactly moving forward, but you want to be guiding your right hip forward, your left hip back. Belly button is into the spine. Reach your arms up high to the sky if they're not there already. Palms facing forward. Drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. All right, and then bring the chin back a little bit. Crown of the head reaches up. Reach with the crown. One more breath here. Full inhale. Great. So let's reach the right arm forward here, left arm back. Keeping the gaze looking out over the right thumb. Reach the left fingertip back and spread the fingers of the left hand. See if you can have the left thumb pointing up. Slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. Keep the gaze strong. Foundation is strong in the feet. Here we go. Inhale, left hand to the back of the right thigh. Right hand comes high to the sky for an exalted warrior. Slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. Hips are facing or guiding forward. One more full inhale. Great, and then have your left hand meet your right hand. Bring your nose forward again, back into your warrior one. And then as you exhale, frame your left foot with both hands. Crown the head reaches forward again. Bend is strong into the left knee. Spin the right heel up, push out through the right heel, look forward. Slide the shoulders down and away from the ears, relax the jaw. All right, left foot meets right foot, plank pose, your version of it. And then slowly lower down. Hands are underneath the shoulders, tops of the feet are touching the mat. Inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest, slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. Baby cobra pose, and we're going to stay here for a few cycles of breath, just so you can kind of get a lay of your land. Sliding the shoulders down away from the ears, tops of the feet are touching the mat. Full inhale, and then as you exhale, slowly release. Push back into downward dog. Two more breaths here. Maybe you focus on connecting with the palms. Maybe you're focusing on relaxing the jaw. Maybe you focus on the feet connection. Full inhale. And then walk your feet to the back of your hands as you exhale, forward fold. Great, halfway lift. Crown of the head reaches forward, tailbone reaches back, fold forward. Feet are planted, reach your arms up high to the sky, full inhale. And let's bring the arms down to the side, back into our mountain pose, palms are forward. Maybe ears are in line with the shoulders. Maybe the hips are directing forward. Great. All right, reach your arms up high. Fold forward. Your halfway lift. And then plant your hands, this time stepping your left foot back, high runner's lunge. All right, let's set it up. So, come onto the outside of the right foot, the ball, the inner arch, and the heel. And then, maybe you're you're kind of towing your left foot back best as can be, or forward. And then really create this nice strong line, relax the jaw, shoulders sliding down and away from the ears. And let's just focus on how the hips are pointing down towards the ground. You're pushing out through the left heel. One more breath. Feel this connection. And then spin your left heel down. Push out to the outside of your left leg. And then once again, reach on up for your warrior one. All right. Building from the foundation up, feel your feet root down. You're not guiding your hips totally forward, but you're reaching the left hip forward as the right hip draws back. Shoulders are sliding down and away from the ears as fingers reach up high towards the sky. Relax the jaw. One more breath. All right, from here, reach your left arm forward, right arm back. Best as can be. And spread the fingers. Let's keep the hand activated. I think we feel this a lot in our legs, so we forget what's going on in our hands. All right, see if you can keep the shoulders sliding down and away from the ears. You're doing great. And then bring your left hand high to the sky, right hand to the back of the left thigh, exalted warrior. See if you can keep your foundation strong in your legs. Maybe you're looking up towards the left fingers. And then have your right hand reach up where your left hand is. And then draw a line with your nose coming back into your version of a warrior one. Slide your shoulders down and away from the ears. Bend it strong in the right knee. You've got this. Inhale. Exhale. Frame your right foot. And then spin your left heel up. High runner's lunge. All right, mindfully set your right foot back to meet left plank pose. And then slowly lower down, elbows in close to the rib cage. Inhale, cobra. Once again, giving yourself that assessment. How are you doing? Tops of the feet are touching the mat. Nice full inhale. And then as you exhale, lower down, push on back to your downward dog. And you have 5 solid breaths here. So maybe you just focus on really releasing the jaw and sighing it out every time, or you're focusing on opening up the jars with your palms, or you're scooting the hips high towards the sky. 2 more breaths. All right, nice full inhale. And as you exhale, feet are coming towards the back of the hands, forward fold.
All right, let's find your halfway lift. What does that look like tonight? Fold forward, feet root down and reach up, rise up, arms come up high towards the sky. And then let's bring them back towards the side, palms forward. This is kind of like your assessment point. How are you doing? Let's just take another cycle of breath here, growing tall with the spine, opening up just a little bit. And then reach the arms up high to the sky, full inhale. Fold as you exhale. All right, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step your right foot back, high runner's lunge. You know where this is going. Set yourself up, spin your right heel down. Use your inhale to come on up into your warrior one. Give yourself a check here. Where do you want to check? Do you want to check hips? Do you want to check your jaw? Hands spreading nice and wide. All right, let's open up to your warrior two. So open up towards your right side, arms come out to a T. Reach fingertips away from each other. Look out over the left hand. Try not to jut the chin too far forward, okay? I think sometimes when we're looking forward, we can start leaning too far forward. All right, let's take the fingertips up towards the sky. So we're giving our left and right hand stop signs, and then point them down, and point them up, and point them down. How's the bend in the left knee? Point them up, and then find some stillness, warrior two. Great. All right, drop your right hand to the back of the right thigh, left hand is high to the sky, and then reach your left arm as far back as comfortable for you, okay? And try not to be dumping into your hips. Reach, reach, reach. Bend deeply in the left knee, best as can be. And then open up into your warrior two. All right, left hand is reaching forward. I want you to heel toe the right foot in just a little bit, straighten the left leg, triangle pose. So send the right hip back. Left hand reaches forward, so try not to reach forward with the jaw, and then come into your triangle pose. If you've got issues with blood pressure, keep the gaze at the left foot. If not, take the gaze neutral or look up towards the right hand. Give yourself a check. Root down through your feet. How's your right hip doing? How are your hands? See if you can keep this strong spine. All right, inhale. Exhale, look down at the left foot if you're not already. And then draw yourself back up. Come back into your warrior two. And then I want you to find your warrior one. How's your foundation in your feet? Do you need to slide your jaw back? And then as you exhale, frame your left foot, spin your right heel up, high runner's lunge. And then step your left foot back to meet right, plank pose. Yogis, you have choices here. How do you want to flow? And if you're ready, maybe you do an up dog, chaturanga up dog, or you take it through a flow, or you skip all of it and just go into a child's pose because you know I cue you. All right, how are you doing? What are you focusing on in this downward dog? You can change it up every time. 2 more breaths, so if you've taken an alternate route, meet us in downward dog. Cool. Reach your right leg high to the sky here, okay? Push out through your right heel, right toes point down, and then be careful. How are you dumping too much on the left or the right hand? Try to keep a little equanimity here. And then bring your right foot through to your hands and drop your left knee. All right, set it up. Get your foundation back in your right foot. Maybe tuck under your toes and move your left knee forward or back just a little bit. Okay, and then bring the top of the left foot onto the mat and feel that connection. Allow yourself to grow a little tall in this low lunge. And then carefully send your right knee over your right ankle and try not to lead with the jaw. Just allow this gentle forward movement. And then as your exhale happens, straighten your right leg. Come up nice and tall. Maybe the right toes point up.
And then you choose how you want to fold over, but don't fold over in a way where you're hunching and arching. Fold forward in a way where you're leading back again with the sternum, kind of how you were earlier in your practice with your forward folds, your seated forward folds. So try to make sure you're not leading with the chin or the nose. Great. And then slowly find your low lunge again. Tuck under your left toes, high runner's lunge. See if you can keep it balanced. And then step your left foot to meet your right in your forward fold. Find a halfway lift here. Fold forward, and then rooting down, reach up, rise up, arms come up high to the sky as you inhale, and then down to the side as you exhale, back into your mountain pose. Awesome, reach your arms up, inhale. Fold as you exhale. Halfway lift. Planting your hands this time, send your left foot back, high runner's lunge. Spin your left foot down, set yourself up, and then when you're ready, reach up, warrior one. Are you rooting down with your feet? Are your shoulders dropping down and away from the ears? How's your jaw? Fingers are reaching high. And then when you're ready, open up to warrior two. Cool. All right, so from here, I want you to flip your palms up, flip your palms down, and then up, and then down, and then up. Are you clenching your jaw? And then down. All right, warrior two. Stillness here. See if you can have a balance between the left and the right foot. And then drop your left hand to the back of the left thigh. Right hand comes high to the sky. Reverse warrior. Have the bend strong in your right knee. And then see if you can reach the right arm across the right ear without creating too much constriction. Keep the bend strong. And then as you inhale, reach up, and then as you exhale, settle into your warrior two. And then slowly straighten the right leg as you bring the left foot in and find your version of a triangle pose. So while you're here, take your gaze to a safe spot and then spread the fingers, activate the hands. Keep your feet rooted down. Do you need to press down with your right big toe or your left big toe? Great. All right, take your inhale, and then as you exhale, we're all looking at our right foot. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, warrior two. And then bring both arms up high to the sky, warrior one. And then frame your right foot, spin your left heel up. High runner's lunge, right foot meets left foot, plank pose. And I'm trusting you to take it through your version of a flow. Knowing I'll give you a 2-breath warning in down dog. So focus on what you need, and if it's stillness, let it be. Two more breaths here. And then reach your left leg high to the sky. Point your left toes down, push out through the left heel. See if you can get some balance between left and right. And then step your left foot through to your hands. And drop your right knee. And then just gauge where your right knee actually needs to land for a little bit of a stretch in the right quad. And then feel the top of the right foot touch the mat. All right, slowly lean forward without leaning the shoulders forward. See if you can just let it happen. So you might not get as forward as you think, but you're making big progress, trust me. Do you feel the top of the right foot touch the mat here?
How are your shoulders sliding down and away from the ears? And then when you feel ready on your next inhale, you'll slowly start straightening the left leg. Left heel's planted, left toes come up, and then when you're ready, you fold forward, once again allowing the sternum to come in line with the ground. Maybe spread your left toes, your left foot activated. Do you feel like you're putting even weight between the left and the right hand? Fold a little deeper. And then when your inhale happens, slowly bring yourself back up, coming into your high runner's lunge. Right foot meets left foot, forward fold. And then find your version of a halfway lift. Fold forward, reach your arms up high to the sky as you inhale. And then we'll bring palms down to the side as you exhale, coming back into this mountain pose. Take a few cycles of breath and see if you can notice the work you've done already between left and right, the grounding in the feet all the way up to the crown. Awesome. Reach your arms up high to the sky this time as you inhale, and then settle into chair pose as you exhale. All right, so you want to come onto the heels and lift and spread the toes, and the bend is just gentle. If you want to go deeper, you can, but then bring the arms forward first before you bring them across the ears. Let's bring them forward first. So we're bringing the arm bones or the humerus bone into the shoulder joint. So it's like you're pulling it back just a little bit. Fingertips are reaching forward. Crown of the head is reaching up. Relax the jaw, reach the arms up high here. All right, see here if you want to keep the arms here if they need to come back forward. That's your choice. And then maybe you sink a little deeper. All right, let's stay here in a foundation of our chair pose, and I want you to see if you can keep your torso and your legs in line, and then as you exhale, bring the arms behind you, and then as you inhale, bring your arms back up, exhale, arms behind, inhale, arms up, exhale, arms behind, inhale, arms up, one more time, exhale, arms behind, inhale, arms up, and then fold forward as you exhale. Woo! All right, find your halfway lift. Fold forward, and then reach your arms up high to the sky, and bring them down to the side. All right, so hopefully you feel like you're creating a nice solid foundation. Your feet are rooted, and we can do a lot with the torso, and you feel solid. Okay, so root down on your right foot. So we'll just come up onto the left toes here, okay? And I want you to come onto the right heel, lift and spread the right toes, set the right foot down, hands on the hips or they're to the side, okay? And you're not locking your right knee. And then in your own way, lift the left knee to the chest. Stay here. Or start extending the left leg forward. Pushing out through the left heel, left toes point up. Crown of the head is reaching up, relax the jaw. If you want, you can take peace fingers and take a hold of the left toe and add a little bit of a fold, but it's your choice, yogi's choice. Root down through the right foot, reach up, crown's reaching up, left leg's reaching a little higher. Push out through the left heel, and then maybe arms come up if your hands are on your hips. You've got this, one more full inhale. And then as you exhale, carefully set the left foot back down, reach the arms up as you inhale, and then fold forward as the exhale happens. Halfway lift, fold forward, and then reach your arms up high to the sky and bring them down to the side. Palms forward. We're coming back to this mountain pose. Great. All right, so root down on the left foot, come up on the right toes, come up and lift your left toes so you're on your left heel, and then set your left toes down, give a little bend in the left knee, hands on the hips. Okay, and then while you're here, notice that you're not jutting one hip higher up than the other.
that the shoulders are staying nice and open. And then in your own way, hug the right knee into your chest. Or you keep your right toes onto the mat, you know, it's your choice. And then start extending your right leg. If you want, peace fingers on the right toe, adding a fold. Relax the jaw. Push out through the right heel. Arms can reach up. Push down through the left foot, push out through the right heel. You've got this. And then slowly and carefully bring everything back into center. Set your right foot down, reach the arms up high. Fold forward.
Great. Find your halfway lift, your fold, and then slowly step back into your downward dog. And now reach your right leg high to the sky. Push out through the right heel, right toes point down. And then bring the right knee through to the hands. Okay?
And then, so you're coming into pigeon pose, but like, let's hold up here. We're building our foundation. So first off, hands are underneath the shoulders. Your left toes are still tucked under. And I want you to decide if the left knee needs to come closer, being easier on the quad, or if you want a deeper stretch and you walk the left knee out just a little bit. So get your left leg situated. And then untuck your left toes and feel the left foot touch the mat. And then bring your right shin as parallel as you need to be to the top of your mat. So if you want a deep stretch, the right shin is very parallel. If you need to be gentle, the right heel is closer to the left hip. All right, hands are underneath the shoulders. And I want you to feel balance between left and right. Like I don't want you to feel like you're wavering too much on the right side or the left side. Sternum is reaching forward, shoulders are sliding down and away from the ears. All right, once again, you will fold forward, but don't lead with the nose or the chin. Slowly start folding forward. So if you see yourself starting to reach forward with the nose or the chin, start over again. Crown of the head reaches up towards the sky, and then slowly, as if your nose is drawing a line right to the ground, not out. And we'll be in this reclined pigeon pose for the next minute. So your job here is to see if you can stay stable and equal between left and right. Maintain your breath. Maybe give yourself a body scan here and there. Fifteen more seconds left. All right, your last cycle of breath, I want you to take a full inhale in, but really sigh out and release the jaw as you exhale. And then let your inhale guide you back up. Palms are underneath the shoulders. Come up nice and tall. Tuck under toes. Feel the left toes connect into the mat as you push both hands down equally and send your right leg back into your three-legged downward dog and then your downward dog. All right, so switching sides. Stay here in this downward dog just for a breath so you can rebalance. And then left leg comes high to the sky. Slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. Palms are planted. And then bring the left knee through to the hands. Great. So same thing here. You feel your left toes or your right toes connect onto the mat. But you decide first where the right knee needs to land. Set your right knee down and then untuck your right toes. And then set your left shin up. to where it needs to be, and then place your palms back underneath the shoulders so you feel balance between left and right. So that might be doing a little check. Are you rolling too much on the outer of the right leg or the inner of the right leg? Are you putting too much weight onto your left hip? And then you'll fold forward the same way. Come up nice and tall and slowly start leaning forward as if you had a straight spine so you avoid rounding. All right, and then once you're settled, find a spot here quick where you could just do a little check-in. And then know you'll be in stillness for the next minute. So, try to keep your balance between left and right. Keep your breath. All right, last breath here. So I want you to take a nice full inhale. This time slide the shoulders down and away from the ears and open up the jaw as you exhale. And then placing the palms underneath the shoulders, slowly pressing yourself back up. Untucking or tucking under the right toes. Lift yourself up so you can bring the left leg back into your three-legged downward dog, and then both feet come down onto the mat, downward dog. Beautiful, and then shift forward. It's your last plank pose, I promise you. All right, so you've done a lot of work here, and you're in this plank pose, and I want you to stay strong. So toes are planted, push out through the heels. See if you can slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. Belly button is coming into the spine, crown of the head is reaching forward. Let's take 2 more cycles of breath here. You've got this. Push down through your fingertips. Push out through the heels. 1 more breath, because I took a long breath. And then as you exhale, lower down slowly. Woo! All right, flip over. So the back of the head is onto the mat. You're long onto the mat. All right, so place your right knee onto the mat, your right foot onto the mat, right knee is up. And have your left toes push up towards the ground, so you're pushing out through the left heel. All right, and you might even want to place your hand onto your left hip, and it's almost like you're pushing the left hip out just a little bit to give yourself some length. And then do a little check with the right foot. Maybe come on the outer, the inner, the balls and the heel, so you feel your right foot is really pushing down into the ground. Sometimes when we're doing these transitions, we can forget where we're shifting our weight. And then arms are coming down to the side, and I want you to just bring the head from side to side. So you can feel how your shoulders are rooted down onto the mat, and the space you're giving yourself in between the neck and the shoulder, or in the neck, between the ears and the shoulders. Great. Are you still pushing out through the left heel? Nose is pointing up towards the ceiling. Hug your right knee into your chest. All right, so both heels are now pushing out. Both sets of toes are pushing up towards the sky. Cool. All right, and then when you are ready, hands come behind the right thigh. Right leg is high towards the sky. Keep pushing out through the left heel. See if you give yourself a little check. Are you rolling on the inner of the left thigh or the left leg or the outer of the left leg? See if you can keep it center. And then try to line up the second toe with the knee. Push
the toes towards your face, so you're doing a little dorsiflexing with the foot. Great. Nice full inhale. And then when your exhale happens, bring the knee into the chest. Hook your peace fingers around your right toe. All right, so now your right shoulder blade should be touching the mat, and you don't want your shoulder to round in too much. So try to keep the right shoulder blade touching the mat. Left toes are still pointing up. Maybe place your hand onto your left hip and then reach your right leg. Try to straighten your right leg without lifting the shoulder blade too far off of the mat. So it'll be a gentle. And then as you exhale, bringing the right knee into the shoulder. And then extending the right leg. So go back and forth a little bit here. Kind of play with the pace of your breath. And be careful that you're not rolling too far over to the left or the right side, that you have stability here with your hips, with your shoulders, with the back of the skull, heels. We have all these connections, and when we make these little movements, it shifts the weight, and it can throw us off alignment just a little bit. So you're just creating this awareness of how your body weight shifts now with everything. All right, and then meet with the right knee hugging back into the chest. Push out through the right heel, right toes are pointing up. You've been here before. All right, then you're going to gently extend your right leg long. Push out through the right heel, right toes point up. Left foot touches the mat. All right, so if you need to do the check between the outer, the inner, the heel, the ball of the foot, so you feel your left foot push in. Push out through the right heel, right toes are pointing up. And then when you feel ready, hug the left knee into the chest. All right, so you're just setting up the lay of the land here as you're face up or you're supine onto the mat. Make sure that you're not shifting on the left or the right side too much, so that you still have space in the neck. All right, send your left leg high to the sky. Give yourself a little dorsiflexing, so you're bringing the toes towards the face. Push out through the right heel, right toe still point up, relax the jaw. Full inhales and exhales. And then you're bringing the left knee back into the chest, making peace fingers with the left toe. And you're doing the same thing here. So you want to extend the left leg best as can be, giving some length to the right arm without reaching the left arm too far up off of the mat. So you don't want the shoulder blade to reach up because it tends to internally rotate. All right, and then how's the weight shifting on the right leg? Doing these fun little check-ins. Just a few more times. And then you'll meet with the left knee hugging into the chest. Have your right knee meet your left knee. Wrap your arms around your shins and gently rock from side to side. And then maybe you give yourself some pelvic circles, so you place your hands on your knees. And if you're doing the circles, reverse direction. All right, hugging knees into the chest. Feel your shoulders here. Did they shift around a lot, or do you need to readjust them? And then you'll come into your inversion. So when you're ready, extend your legs up high to the sky. Bring your arms down to the side. If you have any other variations of your inversion, please go there now. Knowing I may not cue out of that variation, but just the one I'm in. So when you're here, I want you to just gently adjust your weight. See where you can soften, relax the jaw. And just settle into some long cycles of breath. And then let this final cycle in this inversion be a very long cycle of breath. So take a full inhale. Exhale, slowly release out of this inversion and extend one leg long, followed by the other. And then with the heels planted, push out through the bottoms of the feet. Reach the arms up overhead. Slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. Reach fingertips away from the toes. Point the toes forward. Plants are flexing the feet. Full inhale, and as you exhale, settle into your final pose of Shavasana. If you need to suss around a little bit so you can feel your weight even and balance, be welcome to it. And know that I will mind the time and call you back. All right, yogis. Take a nice full inhale in. Sigh out the exhale. And then when you're ready, give yourself one more full body stretch, reaching the arms up overhead, and allow yourself to come over onto your right side as you exhale. Just staying in a fetal position, taking a few cycles of breath here. And then placing your left palm down onto the ground, slowly push yourself up, coming into a seated pose. Place the palms onto your thighs and sit up nice and tall. See if you can keep the shoulders sliding down and away from the ears. Crown of the head is reaching up. Soften the hips. And then bring the palms together, connecting left and right, thumbs touching the sternum, giving yourself a soft bow. I honor this place in which the entire universe dwells. It is a place of kindness, it is a place of peace, and it is a place of love. And when I am in this place in me and you are in this place in you, together we are one. Namaste.